This thing on? Hello? You on? Anyone there? Well, if you are there, my name is Alive, aka Liv, and welcome to my channel. It's just a little introduction to me and what I'll be making on this page, but I have crafted all across the board. I mean, you name it, I've probably made it or worked with it in some way. And what that's all led to for me is working with bioplastics and biomaterials. It's really interesting how I stumbled upon it because it was definitely not my plan in life, but this has always been my plan in life. Ever since I was in elementary school, I always dreamed about opening a YouTube channel, but I knew if I ever did, it would have to be for something that adds real value and real knowledge to a community. And I found it finally in college, and it's biodesign and biomaterials for crafting. When I was in college, I went for product design. I attended UC Davis, which does have a large sustainability focus. And admittedly, at the time when I was taking this class, I was so upset to be doing a sustainability project because at Davis, they offer a sustainability product design course, but I wasn't in that class. I was taking regular product design, and what I really wanted was to feed the consumerism machine and make a product that would be highly marketable. However, my professor is also the sustainability professor, and she pushed for us to do a sustainability project. At first, I wanted to do jewelry design, but I didn't have a strong concept to go with that in production methods, so she encouraged me to find another area of biomaterials to explore. And biomaterials was not the only option, and actually I was one of two people to use it. Most people made uh, sustainable design options, which were like water conservation, solar power, things like that. I really gravitate towards the mystery of things. I learn quickly, and so I thought I will give biomaterials a chance. And once I finally figured out my concept, it all really fell together and I could research it out. And I found that the process was much easier than I was expecting in my head. I thought that it was going to take a lot more trial and error than it did, and I was able to make a solid product within just a couple weeks. So you might be asking, what did I make when I was doing this project? And what I really thought about was, where do we use plastic and when is it a problem? And that's when I started thinking about kids and how they'll just eat about anything that you put in front of them. And it inspired me to make a plastic that could also be a toy, that could also break down in a child's stomach if they did accidentally ingest it, saving a parent from a doctor's visit and overall panic. And that's when I settled on a gelatin-based toy. Gelatin is a common biopolymer, and it's really great for this purpose. It's already a food grade polymer that I know breaks down in the stomach in time. I mean, who hasn't enjoyed a good bowl of jello? But the goal was to make it not sweet, not yummy tasting, so the kid wouldn't try and eat it. Also making it as durable as possible, so it wasn't just breaking every time so that the kid had an excuse to eat it. Anyways, that's some things I did, and I finished that project and continued on to making algae string and experimenting with that. I also attended a conference in school called ISAM, which is International Symposium of Academic Makerspaces, and I contributed to my school winning an award for best paper. It also was like a life-changing experience for me. I really fell in love with biomaterials through this whole process and journey. And then I got the chance the next year to work on a real research paper just because of my willingness to dive headfirst into the hardest materials and make something happen. Because another project I did in school was to make conductive algae string, which was novel in the first of its kind. and that was pretty cool. The professor and I grew a relationship during that class, and she saw my potential to do research for her lab. And even though I was graduating a quarter early, I wanted to walk with the rest of my friends at the normal time everyone would graduate. I was able to work in this research lab while waiting for my graduation. And while there, I learned a lot about product development, and it's still something I really love. I just love researching user needs and then also problems to solve and how you'll solve them in actual ways. So, what we made there was biodegradable makeup stickers that are pH reactive. What I'm talking about here is that I used red cabbage powder to be pH reactive. That that powder, it changes color. So when it's very acidic, it's a bright pink. When it's neutral, it's purple. And when it's basic, it's blue. So after countless hours of researching materials and production methods and uses, after reading so many articles, I finally got to publish my own paper, an ACM paper, and I'm very proud of that work. It really was worth it to go through all of that struggle. I definitely did more hours than I was paid for, but that's just the nature of biomaterials and doing something you love. You put all your heart into it. So that leads me to what have I been doing after graduation? Looking for a job mostly, but so I don't go crazy during my time of looking for a job, I've been still experimenting with biomaterials and really leaning into the DIY capabilities of it. Something I realized when I was looking at all of these research articles is every single one will put a DIY capability of their material. DIY. Do it at home. But I then thought about what is the most DIY place that everyone goes to when they're first starting a DIY project. And it's kind of a no-brainer. It's YouTube. Everyone starts here. But if you look up videos on biomaterials in YouTube, you'll get ones that are like 7, 8, 10 years old, but they're not teaching you how to interpret the recipe, how to modify it, how to adapt it for your own projects. What's the story behind it? Do you get to see the person struggle? Because there's a lot you learn from mistakes, and I love seeing other people's mistakes, and now I'm exposing myself and showing you all my mistakes. But it's all going to be worth it for this growing community of ideas and projects, and even if I can get one more person to like biomaterials, I feel like it's worth it. So that being said, hello, welcome to this channel. I hope you stick around. If you could like and share, follow me so that this page can really get a start. I'll be uploading my first video this week. Yeah, I'm just so excited to be here and talking to the internet. I've always been someone that's really nervous about sharing myself and my life, but it's all gonna be worth it. And the first project will be algae string like this, or like this. It can look different.